Hello, fellow crafters. Welcome to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks, and I'm a craft producer here with Maker's Gonna Learn. Today, we are doing a super fun project. It's a Spotify themed project. I'm sure you guys have seen it's a hot trend right now. It's going around everywhere. Lots of people are doing little projects with it. But you've seen the trend where you take your Spotify code to whatever song that you're loving. You import your picture, like you and your best friend or you and your significant other, whoever. And then there's a template that has like the play button and the pause button and all that stuff so that it looks like an actual Spotify song. And so that trend is going on right now, particularly one that looks like a floating frame. I know we here at Maker's Gonna Learn have also done this project. I will link that project below so you can take a look at it as well. But anyway, so, we're taking that template and I want to do something a little fun and different with it today. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do a fun Spotify themed project, but we're going to add a little twist to it so that you can give these as gifts or just something cute. We are incorporating the vintage cassette tape type theme in with this. I've made a couple of special cut files specifically for this project for you guys. These cut files are available to all Maker's Gonna Learn members. So that is amazing. If you are not a member of Maker's Gonna Learn, go to our website, makersgonnalearn.com, and join the membership so that you can have access to these cut files, thousands of more cut files. And then if you become a yearly member, you also have access to hundreds of fonts as well so that you can customize projects. In addition to those things, members also benefit from member-only videos that you have access to through our member-only Facebook group as well. There are tons of other benefits of being a member here at Maker's Gonna Learn. You can check out our website. We have all sorts of information about that, but we would love to have you crafting with us 365 days a year as a yearly member. Anyway, let's get started with this project. What we're going to do first is go over to spotify.com. We're going to find our song, we're going to grab the code, and then I'll just show you guys how easy it is to put together a super customizable, very fun project that has your Spotify code with it. I got a little ahead of myself. Before we jump over onto Spotify on our computer, I want to go over the supplies really quick. There aren't many supplies. That's really nice. We are using craft board today. I'm going to be using black craft board. You can use a heavy cardstock for this as well if you don't have craft board. I just like how thick and durable craft board is. So we're going to be using craft board, just one 12 by 12 piece of craft board. And then we're going to be using Cricut Printable vinyl. So we're going to be using the print and cut feature from Cricut to make some stickers for this particular project. Like I said, we're using the vinyl. You could also use the printable stickers as well if you want to. And then we have our Scotch ATG gun. So this is just a double-sided dry adhesive that we're going to be using to put our project together. We're also going to be using a scoring stylus today. You can also use a scoring wheel if you want to. So this will just be put into your machine. You can use the Air 2 or the Maker to make this project if you'd like. We're just going to be using a fine point blade in our Maker. And then you'll also need an inkjet printer, whatever inkjet printer that you want to use. That does really well printing on printable vinyl. Other than our mat and just normal weeding supplies, that is all we're going to be needing for this particular project. So now we'll jump over to our computer and get those codes generated and the design space elements figured out. Okay, I am over here at Spotify.com and I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick search for the song that I want to use in my project. You can see up here on the left-hand side where it says search, you can just click that and then type what song or the artist that you're looking for. Now I'm looking for Josh Turner. Would you go with me? That's my husband and my song. We played it at our wedding and super fun. So that's what I'm going to be using for this project. And all I have to do, you can see there's a couple of them. So whichever one you want, just hover over it. And then you can see over here, there are these 3 dots. I'm going to click those 3 dots. And then I'm going to press copy song link. And then I'm going to open up another tab and I'm going to go to Spotify code or codes, I can't remember which one it is, spotifycodes.com. And then I can paste, let me delete that one. I can paste the link for the song and then press Get Spotify Code. It generates that code for you right here, and then you can select what color you want the barcode. You can select what format you want it in, JPEG, PNG, or SVG. I'm going to select SVG just because it's a little more versatile in Design Space. And then I will press download. Once I press download, it's over here. And then I'm just going to, let's see here, we'll move this over, and I can go ahead and import that to Design Space. So I'll just go to Upload in Design Space, Upload Image, and then let's find that code again. I will drag it in here into Design Space. Now I can save it, and I can click it and press Insert Image. Now, there's a couple of things because Spotify generates these codes a little bit differently. I don't actually need this black part, so I'm going to ungroup. I don't need this square unless I just want that in my image. And then let's see here, you can see, let's zoom in. When it generates this code, for some reason, here, let's put I'll put a circle or something behind it so you can see better what I'm talking about. Let's send it to the back. For some reason, the center of the Spotify code is the only thing that is cut out. So these, for whatever reason, are not cutting out properly. It doesn't generate the SVG code or SVG file very well. So to troubleshoot that, what I'm going to do is click this. I'm going to duplicate it. So copy C or Command C, Command V, just to copy and paste. And then I want to go down to Contour, and I want to, let's see if we can find it. Where is it here? We'll zoom out a lot. There we go. My goodness, I don't know why it imported like that. So all I want to do is get rid of this guy, and then let's see here. That may have done it. Nope. Let's go back in here. And then I'll contour that, and I'm going to contour that so that I have only one of these. And then I'll bring it in here, and I'm going to size it so that it fits nicely where these should be cut out. Again, it's so odd that that happens, but it's okay. We can figure this out. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate that one again, and I'll take it down to the bottom and make a smaller one. So I'm going to size it down smaller, kind of hover over right there so that it matches. And then I'm going to take this layer and the second layer, select both of them, and then I'm going to weld them together so that they're one layer. And then what I can do is select both of these. So the Spotify background layer, and then the new one that we just did, I'm going to press slice. And then I'm going to delete this because I don't need that. That was sliced out. And then I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. That's extra. And now you can see that is sliced out. So that's just how we troubleshoot that. I don't know if Spotify will like update that so that it is correct or not, but that's a way to troubleshoot it. Now what I need to do, I'm going to go ahead and group all of this together here, just like this. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then I'm going to import our Spotify cut file that we have here at Maker's Gonna Learn. So I think I already have it in here. Let's search for it really quick. Yep, there it is. And I'm going to go ahead. This is the picture that I want to use for the project as well. So I'll select both of those and press Insert Image. Just like this. We'll zoom out because it imports really big here. We can also size down to make this smaller. Just like this. Then let's pull this down here and we can send it to the front so that we can see it a little better. So we're just going to right click, press Send to Front. And then, oh my goodness, there we go. We'll drag it down here, and you can change the color of this if you want to because it is an SVG. So you can just go up here to the top where this white is selected and just press black if that's what color you want it. That is the color that I want it. And then I'm going to take my picture here, send it to the front so I can see what I'm doing, and then I will size it up so that it fits nicely where this square is, this template, and then we don't need that template anymore. So what we're going to do is find it here over here in the layers panel, and then we can hide it. So we're just going to push this I and hide that. Now all I need to do is grab my text box over to the left hand and then type in, would you go with me, which is the song title. And then I want to go up to the top where it says fonts, and I'm going to select Seagull, which is a Maker's Gonna Learn font that I really like. It's just sort of neutral, and it looks similar to the Spotify font. So then I'm just going to decrease the letter spacing so that I can kern this. It's a little bit more, I did it too much there. I don't want them touching. That's what I want. And then I'll drag and drop to make this smaller. Bring it over here to see what size I like. That's actually pretty good. And then I can duplicate this if I want to. So I'll right click and press duplicate. Bring it down here. Whoops. Let's see here. There we go. We'll bring it down here, double click, and then I'm just gonna change this to say Josh Turner because he is the artist. Just like that. I can make it a little bit smaller because the artist's name is smaller than the actual title of the project. So we've got that. We'll bring it under there. And then that's all we have to do to create that cute Spotify project. So, I mean, if you wanted to just make that floating frame type project, then you would just, weld these together or attach them and go from there. What I'm going to do right now is just group all of this together, just so that it's easy to kind of move around and it doesn't mess with my format at all. Now all I have left to do is grab, we'll go to upload here. This is a 3D cut file that we did for this project. And then this is the cassette mixtape project or cut files that we made. So I'm gonna import those and let's see, we'll zoom in just a little bit. Let's make this smaller first. And then we'll zoom in. So as is, this 3D cut file imports like perfect size. When this is finished, it is the size of a cassette tape, which is really fun. So you don't need to do any sizing to that. The only thing that you need to do to this particular cut file is go up to the top where it says ungroup. And then you'll see it has the background, which represents the cardstock. Those are the cut lines. And then it has all of these little lines right here. And the only thing that we need to do for that is to highlight those and go up to the top where it says line type. We'll press the down arrow where it says cut, and we're going to press score. So we've just changed those from cut lines to score lines, which is exactly what we want. We'll select both of those layers, and then we're going to attach those score lines to the cut lines that will be cut out of the craft board. So we've attached that. Now what I want to do is grab a basic shape over here in Design Space, and I want to just size this down so that it will fit on one of these sides. Now you could eliminate this step and just like print and cut this. It will cut out these little circles and the insides here and the inside here, which if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I want to just save a little bit of time so that it prints and then just cuts out this perimeter. So to do that, I've got this shape already. I want to turn it to white, just like that. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and duplicate this because I need two of these. So I'll bring it down. And then what I'm going to do is, let's see here. We'll grab a basic shape over here. Actually, we can just duplicate this one if we want to. We'll duplicate. And I want to separate this from this. So I'm just going to cover this up here. Make sure that the entire thing is covered up. And I'm going to select both of these layers and I'm going to press slice so that it makes two layers out of this. It's going to make two different, so that it's two layers. It's two separate pieces. So I can delete that because I don't need it. And then I can delete this because I don't need it. And now I have two separate layers. I can move this around. So then what I need to do, okay, it is in the front. I can pull it over here, size it down so that it fits on that white rectangle, just like that. And let's zoom in a little bit so we can see a little better. We could select that layer and this layer. So I'm pressing Shift to select both of them and then go up to a line and press center. And that's going to center horizontally and vertically. It actually didn't move, so it was already centered. So still with both of those selected, I'm going to go down to press flatten. And when I press flatten, it makes it one layer, and now this is a print and cut. So it will print it out and then it will cut it. Now I want to do basically the same thing with this Spotify code and template that I generated. So what I'm going to do is just rotate it to 90 degrees, just like that. And then we will send it to the front so that we can see it. Let's see here, right click, send to front. And then we will drag and drop so that it gets smaller here. And we're gonna put it on this piece, or this white rectangle, excuse me. We need to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And then once we like that, we will have that layer selected. And then we're going to select that other white rectangle here. So shift, I have both of them selected, and then I'm gonna go up to a line and press center again so that it centers it horizontally and vertically. And again, it did not move, so that's good. And then we're gonna go ahead and press flatten with this one as well so that it is a print and cut. So now it's one layer. Did you see? Let me undo that so you can see really quickly. We went from having all of these layers, and you can scroll through and see there were quite a few because of the Spotify code, to having just these layers. So that's awesome. Very cool. Then the only other thing that we need to do here is grab this guy right here. And it doesn't matter that it's technically upside down, because when we put this together, this part will be up here on this cut file. It doesn't matter. We're just, for this purpose, going to be sizing it to fit right there. So that's exactly what we want. This is already going to be a print and cut, so that's amazing. And we can zoom out just to make sure that we like everything. Pretty easy to put together, right? And then we'll press make it, and I will show you how it separates on those mats. Okay, after you hit make it, you can see that it separates those print and cut images. So the images that will be print and then cut out of the printable vinyl, it separated those on one mat, and then it separated the actual 3D cut file on another mat. You can see that those score lines are attached to the cutout, which is exactly what we want. If it does not look like this, then you need to go back and make sure that you've attached your score lines properly, and then you'll be ready to go. So we're just going to press continue here. Let's see here. And then it will connect to our maker, and we're going to press send to printer. One thing that I want to show you, if ours is default to add bleed, and I want to turn add bleed off, because if I add bleed, then it adds bleed in the center here, and then on these little pieces, and it just looks odd. And since it's not cutting those pieces out, we don't want it to add the bleed. So just remove add bleed. And then I like to press use system dialog. So when you push that and then press print, you have to minimize Cricut, and then the system print dialog box will come up. Ooh, let's get rid of that there. And then you can select if you want it to feed from the rear tray, which is what we do. And then I always put it at best. So we'll have best, and then we'll press print, and you can go back to Cricut here, and it will print. So we're going to go over here into design space where it says browse all material, and we will type in printable, and printable vinyl is right here. We'll select that, press done. I have a new blade in mind, so I'm not going to select more pressure. I'm just going to let it cut as is, and then we'll load it in the machine and be good to go. Okay, once we are done unloading our mat, we just need to grab our favorite weeding tool and weed off the extra really quickly. It's very easy to do this with the printable vinyl, especially since we put that rectangle behind these. There's not much to do. So we've got that. And then what I'm going to do is remove this from the mat so that I can use it for my craft board. just like that, and I'll put it over to the side, and then I'm going to load the craft board. You might want to use a light grip mat if your mat is new. My standard grip mat is not new, so this will come off the mat pretty good. If it was a super sticky one, you might have some issues with that. So keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and load this into the maker right after we select the materials in Design Space. Okay, so over here in Design Space, all we need to do is select this drop-down menu and go find Craft Board, which is a favorited item of ours. We use it a whole lot. So I'll press Craft Board, and you can see that it wants to, by default, use the double scoring wheel to score those lines. I personally just want to use my scoring stylus so that I can put it in clamp A and not have to change in the middle. So I just want to press Edit Tools right here, select my scoring stylus, press Apply, and then it will prompt you to put it in clamp A. You can leave your fine point blade in clamp B at that point. And then we will load the mat and press the flashing Cricut button. Before we do that, we do need to load that scoring stylus. So I'm going to show you, just in case you're new to Cricutting and might not know how, I'll show you how easy it is to do that. So we have our scoring stylus here, and you can see on here it has a little arrow, so it's just telling you to put that right in until it makes you'll feel it kind of pop into place, and then you'll just close your clamp like that. Then what we'll do is just take the mat and load it and press the flashing Cricut button. Okay, we're unloading this mat, and then we can just go ahead and remove the extra craft board. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of this left. You could actually make 2 projects out of this, 1 piece of craft board if you wanted to. But you can see, well, I hope you can see, zoom in a little bit here, how it scored those lines just perfectly. And then we can flip our mat so that it does not curl our craft board and remove there. And I forgot to mention earlier that you will want a bone folder or some sort of hard surface. You could also technically use your scraper if you wanted to, or a credit card or a butter knife, or anything that's just going to give you that good hard surface to make your creases really good. So all I want to do is just follow these score lines, kind of fold. Having those score lines in there already makes it very easy to just reinforce the score lines with your bone folder. So I am folding all of them and just creasing with that bone folder. Every single one of them needs to be done. So we'll do that. And then we'll put the vinyl stickers, whatever you want to call them, on this project. You can kind of pre-fold them if you want to, and then go back in and reinforce them. However you want to do it, whatever method you like to do is great. See here, we got them all, and now we're ready to put this together. So it is a box. It goes together very easily. I didn't reinforce that one. And then this side does open, which is why we left this way. If you don't want it to open, you can permanently close it if you prefer that. But what I like to do is do this piece first. So I'm going to just put a strip of ATG. If you want this to be super, super sturdy, you could use a wet adhesive like hot glue. That will work, especially with this craft board. It would work really well. And then I'm just lining it up with this crease right here. And then I will fold it over just like that. And then I want to put, I should have done this before I closed, but I could go ahead and put my adhesive on right here, just like that. I'll fold these sides in first, like that. Fold this one down and then fold this on top. Just push down so that it is nice and closed. And then this part you don't need adhesive on because you want to be able to open it. So we'll just close it in like that. Then we can fold this down this way. Now all we need to do is grab our stickers over here and apply them. So the way that I did it was put this guy right here on the outside. We're going to just line it up, get it good and even and centered, and then lay it down. that easy to work with this printable vinyl. And then we'll do the same thing with our Spotify graphic here. I put mine on the inside right here. Just line it up as well. This table is high, so it's hard to see for me sometimes. There we go, lay it down and then just smooth it out. It works just like a sticker does. And then we're gonna take this part, remove it, and then we'll put it right here. Let's see, it may take me just a second. Like I said, this table is pretty high for me to see good. Lay it down and flatten it out there. And then you can go back in with your bone folder if you want to, just to recrease that since you did add that extra layer. But there we have it. We have this finished product. Let me zoom in a little bit so that we can look at it a little bit more in detail. Here's our finished adorable project. So we have that super cute, retro-y looking cassette tape. And guys, we do have both the ping and SVG version of this. So if you wanted to change the colors of the cassette or the mixtape set list, or this part, the mixtape written list part, you can totally do that. You can import the SVG and then just change those colors and then flatten them before you're ready. And that's a fun way to customize it. So we have that super cute thing. We open it up. We have our Spotify link and our code and picture. And then our little list right here. And you could do a couple of things with this. So you could write a little note to your friend or whoever right here. Or you could actually write a list of fun songs that you guys have enjoyed during your relationship. I think if I give this to my husband, that's what I would do. And then what I would do is open this up and maybe write a fun love note or something like that. Put the note in there for him, and you could keep it that way. If you're giving it to a friend, maybe write your note right here and put a gift card or something fun in there. Anyway, I hope you guys really liked this project. It was super fun to do. It was a little bit different take on the whole Spotify code trend that is so popular right now. I hope you all really enjoyed this fun tutorial that I did with you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Again, guys, if you are not members of Maker's Gonna Learn, go to our website, makersgonnalearn.com, become a member, and enjoy all of these cut files, as well as so many more. We would love to have you crafting with us and to be a part of our wonderful community of like-minded die-cut crafters here at Maker's Gonna Learn. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. If you are not a subscriber of our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe so that you can enjoy other fun videos just like this.